Well, that was unexpected for both of us. Just so happens F10 in Camtasia Studio, which is what I'm using to record these videos, ends the recording session. So when I pressed F10 to step through our code, that's what happened. So now you have Project 1 Part 3, unexpectedly, but there you go. Let's see what I can do here to step through. Continue. Well, that's just going to run it to the end. I'm going to have to investigate. Oh, here it is. Step over. That's Shift 11. Step out. I may have to disable that or change that in my Camtasia setup so that it's a different keystroke. But anyway, if you press F10, it's going to hit this line right here. And when it does, it's going to execute the show method for the message box object, and it's going to display hello world. And you can do that right now. You don't have the issue that I have. So I'm just going to press F5 to continue. Hopefully that'll, hang on just a minute. Well, oh, there it is. I guess it's already popped up. Well, anyway, live and learn. So there's my hello world pop-up. For some reason or other, it's not. Continuing, continue for 5. There it goes. Okay. So that's what you see when you hit F10. I just ran mine to the end. Now, if you have other code lines you want to examine, if you press F5, it's going to run to the end of the program, which is not what you want to do. I had no choice. But anyway, there's hello world. Now, we are not quite through with this thing. We're getting close, though. Let's stop debugging. I'm going to remove my breakpoint simply by clicking on it. There's an option here to remove all breakpoints or disable them, different things. All right, so I'm in code view. I want to go back to designer view. And what I'm going to do, I could go to toolbox and grab another button and drop it on here, but I'm just going to select this and copy it, okay, and then paste it. Sometimes it's easier to do that. You can do it with whole groups of objects if you want to. You'll get used to all this. Paste. All right, now I'm going to put it where I want it, which is usually in the bottom right corner. This is I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, by the way, so that when it runs, it looks a little bit better. Then I can separate these out some. Oops. I hate a touchpad. All right, there we go. Now, notice that it's got the exact same text property as the one I copied it from, but the object name, surprisingly, let's go back to here. Okay. Whoops. No, I want to go back to my properties. There they are. Okay. The name is going to be, well, I've got it set up as, there we go. So you can display this up, A to Z, group it by different things. All right, there. So the name is still button 1 because it's a new button. So BTN. This is our close button, so or exit. I'm going to call this exit. And my keyboard's going crazy. Button exit. Now, this is a different button, totally. Now we need to go down and change the text property. When you see an exit button with the word exit on it, the hotkey is always going to be the X. All right, so E and then the ampersand for the hotkey, XIT, exit. Whoops. Several of my keys are acting weird, A and X. All right. Now, if we run this and save it and run it again. By the way, I'm using 2005 on this, 15 on this machine. Please stop. There you go. It showed it anyway. I need to go and tell it to ignore that. If I click say it, you'll get your pop-up. Hello world. If I click exit, nothing happens. Why did nothing happen? Well, I didn't create an event handler or a click event handler for that button, and I didn't put any code in there that would close the application. So I need to do that. Let's stop debugging. I'm going to double click on it because I want to go to the default event handler for our button, which is the click event. It'll take me to code view and create that event. All right, now as you can see, there's my other subroutine for hello world. So I'm just going to type me dot. Now why did I type me? Well, me is a handle to the application because you can have multiple instances of applications if you set it up that way. The user can open up, like you can open up 15 tabs on a browser or a bunch of different browsers and until you run out of memory. Well, me just points to this particular instance. I could use the form name as well, form main dot. All right, but what I want to do here, and I may have to do that anyway, I want to find some way to close this. So I typed C, and it took me up to all these different C events. There's close. It's a method, so you double click on it, and if you want to stick it in there, you press open and close. There it is. I don't want to pass anything to it because I just want to close this form. All right, that should do it. So when the user clicks on the exit button or uses the Alt X, it should fire this click event, run this, and what this does is it passes to the Windows messaging queue a terminate code or a close code. It comes back to this application, wakes it up, and says, let's see if we have an event handler and code to handle a close message. At that point, it does it, and Windows pulls it out of memory because that's part of that close message. Okay, this Windows messaging event handling system is really ingenious. Whoever did this, I'm sure Bill Gates had a lot to do with his engineers, but it's really incredible. And so did Apple. All right, so let's save it, run it, and see if our close method is working, our close button, exit button. Oh, here we go again. Can't wait 15 seconds every time. It's good, though. It should look at that. Are you going to give it to me or not? Okay, there it is. Gosh, it's longer than 15 seconds. All right, so there's my form. And if I want to make it a little bigger, whoops, touchpad. There we go. So I can see hello world. There's say it, and there's exit. Let's click exit. It should terminate the program, and it did. Okay, so we've just tested our program. Everything seems to work. We have renamed all the objects, blah, blah, blah. Now what? Well, now that you're happy with it, and hopefully you are, let's go back to design view. Hit save all. We're going to exit this application, our Visual Studio, and we're going to go into File Explorer, and we're going to zip this thing up and submit it through Blackboard. This is what you'll do for everyone. Now, I didn't have any errors in here. If I had errors, I've got to fix those errors. Most of the time, they're syntax errors. Sometimes they're logic errors before I submit it, because the easiest thing to do is to fix syntax errors. If you send me, and I'm trying to be mean, but this is really kid stuff. If you send me a project that has a syntax error that you haven't contacted me about and we haven't discussed what to do, you will get a ding, a big ding on your grade, just like when you don't rename objects from their default names. These are easy things to do to avoid problems, okay? And I'm doing this so you'll get in the habit of being a professional. That's what I'm trying to get you to be a professional. So let's save this. So I want you to you did save all already, I think. Yeah, we did that. And I clicked on something I didn't want to click on, yeah, naturally. A touchpad hell here. File, close solution. Always close the solution before you close Visual Studio. It's still open, right? And it's just better, it's quicker that way because you don't want to, you might want to open up something else. That's just a default thing we do. All right, so let's go into File Manager. Let me get Camtasia out of the way here. And we're going to go to C, which is what I'm working on. You may be working on something else. This is CIS212. Projects. Project 1. This is your outermost directory that was created by Visual Studio. This is what you're going to select. But before we do that, I want to show you a couple of things. If you drill down in here, there's your solution file. Now, if you don't have, go to View, and if you don't have this extension of file names extensions clicked, you won't see that SLN. Let's see if I can. You're not supposed to anyway. Anyway, we're going to click that. If you want to reopen that project, you just double click on SLN. All right, now double click on Project 1. Go to Bin, go to Debug, and then there's your exe. You can actually run the exe. That's your executable that your software created. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to double click on CIS212, go to projects, select that. That's your outermost project. Press that, and then right click on it. Go to send to right here and compress folder. All right, so you just accept that name. Okay, accept that name. That contains all of your project information. Don't go inside here and get the solution file, or go inside here and get project one. You got to go to the outermost folder inside of projects. Okay, and that's that folder, that directory. When you zip that up, then that's what you're going to send me. So let's go do it right now. Let's go to Blackboard. Close this. Let's open up Blackboard. I should have already done this. Sorry. Oh, I do have it. Okay. I probably have to log back in. There's project one. You go to content. See if it makes me log in again. Oh, okay. You go to assignments. Oop, I'm in the wrong class. Hang on just a minute. This is 212. All right. Let's go to 212. Go to assignments or content and then assignments. All right. And there's project chapter 1. What we're going to do is we're going to browse for that file, and there's no points for this, by the way. You're just learning, and I'm not going to grade it. But anyway, you need to go through this. If it takes several times, that's fine. Browse my computer. All right, I'm going to go back to my C drive, CIS 212 projects. There's my zip file. It's got all my stuff in it. If you don't do it that way, I'm not going to be able to grade it, and you'll get a 0. So you need to go through this, make sure you understand what to do. Submit, and it's not going to let me submit because I'm an instructor. You'll get a green banner up here that will show you it was successfully submitted. I can't do that because obviously I'm not a student. Okay? Alrighty then. Successful first project. Let's get rolling. See you next.